more laps. I just gotta make 10 more laps. And a witness takes 10 more laps. And it's going to take 10 more laps to go. My 66 model has been raring to go. I worked a lot of hours getting her ready to go. Fixing up the engine so she won't blow. I'll be a winner, I know. 10 more laps. I just gotta make 10 more laps. And a witness takes 10 more laps. And it's going to take 10 more laps to go. I was running way ahead of all the other cars. I was doing fine and everything was good so far. Track was getting hotter with the melting of the tar. 10 more laps to go. 10 more laps. I just gotta make 10 more laps. And the witness takes 10 more laps.
We're going to do something a little bit different, and maybe we might do some more of these. We're down to Post 82, American Legion Post on Harris Road, and we're going to do a Roger Sunoco get-together. That's all of us guys that used to hang out at Roger Reinhold's Sunoco filling station on the corner of Pontiac and John Street. It was a hangout for anybody that had anything to do with racing at South Anthony and later on Bear Field. It was a nucleus of a lot of beginners. Johnny Klotz never drove a race car until he started hanging out there, and him and my brother Dick bought an old 49 Chevy and went to South Anthony to make their fortune, and well, some of them did, some of them didn't. So today we'll be going through interviewing a lot of the people and talking to them, everybody that shows up for breakfast this morning, and see how it's been since Roger Sunoco closed up. Here again, part of the crowd is beginning to show up now, and sitting right here, this guy right here with a side shot is a guy by the name of Gensheimer. And then that's one of the Perrys sitting right behind him you can't see, and then the guy with the mustache is Dean Schlegel. I don't recognize the guy there in the gray hair, but Neil Borgner on the far side over there.
You look good.
Neil, he's been around for a while. They're overlooking pictures. This is the back of Rocky's head. There's nothing there. There's Smiley. Smiley always had a smile on his face. Have no idea who this guy is, but he's happy to be here. Don't have any idea who this guy is. He's got his hat on, so we don't really recognize too many of them. This guy here is Dick Walders. The guy sitting behind him that we can't see nothing but his shoulder is my brother Dick. I don't know who this guy is going to sit in there. Sitting there next to Smiley. Okay. Tony sitting down there. Studebaker fame.
Everybody recognize this guy?
Yeah. Here come some more guys in. I don't know who that guy is there, but hell, that's Stillwell. That's Stillwell. And that's Danny Purge, Dave Purge. So the crowds begin to show up. This ought to be an interesting breakfast.
Yeah. Might have to grab another table.
Yeah, just when everything gets going good, Rocky has to stand up. Quite a group of people for everybody that used to hang out at Roger Sunoco. Be interesting if Ed Reinhold or one of his kin would show up today. They do live in Fort Wayne. Donnie Reinhold lives in Florida. I don't think he'll be around today, but I guess Gitzheimer's back. That's what Rocky was telling me this morning that Gitzheimer was going to be here. Okay, we're back in it again. Now we're going to get to introducing everybody and let everybody in the room know who is here and who's not here. So this ought to be an interesting episode. First, Rocky's got to stand and talk to the first guy that I have coming up. Hey, Perry. Sit down. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
My name's Rusty Perry. I'm retired from AEP, and I used to work for Donnie Reinhold and hang around Roger Sunoco a lot.
Yes. Well, it's a pleasure to see all these faces that I haven't seen for 30 years or more. Nothing else really to say. It's good to see everybody.
Hi, Phil Wisniewski, Fort Wayne, Indiana. There, stand up. Stand up and tell them your name.
My name's Tony Wisniewski. You want my age? Neil Bordner. Dave Reed. Smiley Robinson.
I think we're all agreement.
That's been the story. His life a lot before, you know what I mean?
What do we do with that?
Tell me all right. Yeah, just put your name. Just your name.
Jim Mills. Yoo-hoo. Goopy.
Yeah, there you go.
Lee Heath. Randy Stillwell.
Randy, you need to stand up.
Randy Stillwell.
Dick Ladd. Whatever.
Gooseberry.
Dick Walters. Rocky Fisher.
And we'd like to welcome everybody here for this inaugural Roger Sunoco get-together. I'm real happy with the turnout that we have. We're going to look at doing it in the future, maybe Roger's his birth date, about April 8th. I think we'll do it every year on his birthday. Most of these guys grew up at Roger Sunoco. We raced his race cars and worked on them and worked for him. He was a guy that just had no enemies and would help everybody, give you the shirt off his back. So this is just a testimony of how many people liked him in the racing world and just as a real man. So we're going to go on with this and do a little more talking from time to time, individual interviews, and we'll see how it goes from here. Okay?
We've had a pretty good turnout here so far today. I think once everybody gets their breakfast ordered and gets all the food down in them, the tongues will get loose, and maybe we'll hear some things we never heard before. And again, we might hear some stuff we've heard over and over and over. That has a tendency to happen in a place like this. But Roger was a nice guy. I first met Roger Reinhold right after WW2. His first Sunoco station was right across the street from our house in the 4200 block of Clinton Street. And I don't know, it just seemed like it was just a good hangout. He used to hang out with Mickey Potter, and Mickey was involved with racing and midgets, and then Mickey stayed with us when we went to stock hardtops. and he also went to South Anthony. But Mick had contacted a disease like malaria or something over in the Philippines during WW2, and Mick died in an iron lung at the Veterans Hospital one morning and passed away. But his legacy in the racing world will never pass away, and neither will Rogers, as they were both pretty well known, and both of them, I don't know, was involved in racing. So we'll sit down and have a chat with some of these guys and just go from there. Okay, turn this thing back on again, and just going to wander down through here.
It wasn't light enough, so we tried to lighten it up.
Yeah, that's fine.
See what we got going on in here.
Machine on the
People talking about everything.
whatever.
We'll get in here amongst you guys right here. I've never done one of these at a breakfast party before, so I have no idea what we're getting into. What can you come up with, Roger Sunoco, any things that stick in your mind that happened there or need to happen, or anything of
Significance?
any significance?
Well, when I have to think of something, I can't.
Well,
But I'm sure Dave Reed could.
well, you know,
Very good memories. I mean,
Yeah.
you know.
it wasn't just Roger Sunoco. You know, right across the street was the Pickwick. Klein Richard was one of the guys who owned the Pickwick,
Yeah.
and then right next door was the Skyway, and then right next to that was Carl Lazoff's shoe shop.
Right.
So there was a lot of interesting things right there on the corner of Pontiac and John.
Yeah.
So, did you ever work for Roger? Or?
Yeah, I worked for him later, like, you know, later on, like when I'd get laid off at a processing center at Harvester, I worked for Roger for, you know, for a few years, and then that was like in the mid-'60s, 65, 66.
When did Roger close that station?
I'm
know that?
thinking it was like somewhere in the early 70s when I moved to Florida, if I was trying to recall.
All right. Okay, we'll let you go. Mr. Perry, what have you got?
Well, there's only a couple things. The night that Lee Heath drove his Triumph to the Pickwick. And
drove it through?
Yeah. And when we was all standing inside the station, and Roger had his Ford sitting outside the number 1 car, and we was all standing around in the wash bay, and it just started up by itself. Nobody was even there.
Yeah.
So Roger had to run out there and pull the cables out the battery. A couple things I remember. It was pretty unusual that something like that would happen.
Yeah.
It did. I was there.
I remember hearing about that. Yeah, it just started up.
Yeah, it just started up. You know, it was ready to go.
I never heard that one. That was.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that just started up there. I'll tell you.
But no, it was a fun place. You know, all I did mainly down there, I never got paid down there, but I worked for Donnie, his brother, and. You know, whenever I was around there, you know, you always helped out and did whatever you could, even though you didn't get paid. So, but yeah, I remember some of the Christmas deals down there. You know.
I remember a few Christmas parties.
But it was all fun. You know, I enjoyed it a lot, and met a lot of good people. And yeah, he was just like a second dad to me.
Yeah.
You know? And probably to a lot of people here.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, he was.
Good, what do they call him now?
Good Samaritan.
Good Samaritan, but I mean, you know, a good role model.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He was a good role model.
Yeah.
One thing
because he'd give you hell when you had it coming.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
But you asked him for $10, he didn't know how to say no, did he?
No.
No, he just give it to you.
Yeah, he might give you hell about it.
Yeah, I saw these earlier.
He'd give you the shirt off his back.
Yeah, he would. He was that kind of guy.
There was another thing. Since Jake's up there, remember the phone used to hang on the wall and used to get the rubber mallet instead of putting dimes in it.
Yeah.
Hit it on the bottom with a rubber mallet. And
Yeah, I never knew that one either.
Yeah.
Well,
Full of information here.
now that everything's gone, Rusty can tell you all about
That's
it.
why you never got a raise.
I got to move on there. Dean.
I really can't add anything to what Rusty said.
Yeah.
I didn't have that many real close memories down there. I wasn't down. I worked about a block away.
Yeah.
And I was down there quite often. Used to buy all my fuel down there. But I can't really add any laughable things anyway.
There was a lot of laughable things.
Oh,
down there.
I say there was. Yeah, a lot of laughable things. Roger was quite a man.
Yeah, he was. Well, you knew him later on in Florida, didn't you?
I was only down there once.
Oh, okay.
See, Rocky was down there quite often.
Yeah.
Quite often.
Yeah, Stump, reason why Stump was down there more is I think
Yeah.
Stump's mother and Jenny are related somehow. I
think
either sisters
cousins,
or
I think.
cousins or something like
Yeah.
that. Yeah. But Jenny's still around. We were down there a couple of years ago, and she's still pretty perky.
Pretty perky.
Yeah, getting around. All the kids are down there yet, the boys.
Yeah.
I don't know what the daughter. I think the daughter lives in California or something.
It could very well be.
Yeah.
But as I said, I can't really add any color to the conversation. Anything.
Well, we'll get some color in there.
Okay. Sure.
So. Okay. We'll get up to you. We're
Yeah,
working our way around this thing. Dick's moving the camera. He says getting back to too many heads. So. That's okay, Dick. Okay. All right. Yeah. Okay. Any memories you got that we ought to share with the crowd or the people that's going to watch this program?
Well, there's a lot of memories, but I don't know. I worked for Roger from, I think in the late 60s, probably 66 and 67 I worked down there, and it was quite an experience with all the different people that come in there that he knew, and then the racing and it's just a good atmosphere to be around. So.
Yeah, he ran a business, but yet he still had that race car there, which when Frank was driving it.
Yeah.
It was always.
That's when you can still talk to him.
After hours, we'd get the race car and work on it once in a while.
Yeah, we built Roger bought a 50 Ford, I believe, 49 or 50 Ford, and we put one of his racing engines in it, and we went up to a villa and won a couple trophies for him in a stock class.
Yeah.
And the people up there couldn't figure out how the flathead could run so good. So.
Yeah, well, Roger had a technique to get the flatheads to run. Of course, he had some help back earlier days with Mickey Potter. Mick never drove anything for Roger, but Roger was with Mickey. And Mickey, when in earlier days when he was driving for Ray Walters, they had Granatelli motors in those cars that they ran. Granatelli was one for squeezing the most horsepower out of flathead than anybody I ever knew. Mm-hmm. And he ran them at Indianapolis 500. So anyway, it was interesting being around Roger.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We'll move on here. Move on over to Tony.
How you doing, Paul?
Not bad. How's Studebaker business?
Great. We just bought another one the other day.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I found a GT Hawk up in Ohio.
Where'd I find one? I ran across a Golden Hawk coming out of Chicago or something, sitting on a lot for sale.
We have one.
You got one of those?
Yeah.
My wife always wanted a Golden Hawk. I
Yeah,
don't know.
I have a Chop 53. My wife has a 55 Speedster. We got a 57 Golden Hawk. We got a 51 truck. My son's got a 50. Bullet nose, a 56 Hawk, 60 wagon, and we just bought a GT Hawk. So.
Yeah, well, you got enough Studebakers. You can go to South Bend and they'd welcome you in the museum up there.
Yeah, we just dedicated our new museum
Yeah?
last year. No, this March.
Yeah, I haven't been.
It's
about 3 years ago I was up there at South Bend.
yeah, they were still in the building stage then.
Yeah.
It's pretty neat. What really impressed me, they've got a It's a 3-story building, and they've got a body drop where the chassis and engine goes down here.
Oh, yeah.
The frame comes down and sits
Just like an assembly line.
Pretty unique. Pretty unique.
Okay, you hung around Rogers.
I spent most of my time at the Pickwick across the street.
Oh. Well, now, Klein Richard owned the Pickwick, and then there was a couple brothers owned the Pickwick also. And, oh, there's a guy by the name of Windy Cole used to hang out at the Pickwick.
No, Windy well.
And there was a bouncer over there, a female bouncer. I was trying to think of her name. She worked for Magnavox.
Big blonde.
Yeah. And she could flat throw you out if you got in any trouble. I think she got one of Wendy's cars and totaled it down at the corner of Pontiac and Anthony.
Yeah.
Rolled it down there in that park ground.
We used to go there after the races because they sponsored us.
Yeah.
And the beer was a lot cheaper.
Yeah.
Especially if we won.
Yeah. Yeah, Klein Richards, they owned about 3 or 4 taverns in town. The She, Rathskeller, and I don't know, a bunch of that stuff. But well, it looks like
most of them live down in Florida now. So.
Yeah. I see she's bringing the food out,
okay.
So I'm going to wander on back, and we'll get to the other side of the table later.
All right.
Well, we'll start back recording again just for a little bit. Seems like they did bring the food out, so we'll take a real close run around the table. You can Smiley found something to eat. Dave found something to eat. My brother Dick finally found something to eat there.
Hey, Paul.
Yeah.
How about some trophies? You want any trophies?
Yeah. Yeah, we can use some. We're going to put up a wall.
190.
Turn his hearing aid out.
Okay, we're talking and everything, trying to get the mics all hooked up again, and we're going to go wander down through here and talk to somebody. I don't know what we're going to do, but we're going to go over to the other side and see what Smiley's doing over there. I hope none of us run out of cord here. Let's find some more cord. We out of cord on that one? Okay. Have to run this across the table. I don't know what we're doing here. Okay, now got things all around here. We'll see if I can get this one around to the other side. Okay.
I couldn't find a phone number on it, so one day I just stopped. Oh, yeah. I had something to show him the picture of the old steel mill stuff.
When you have
Well, I'll tell you what.
I'm not into that farm stuff. I mean,
If you didn't know it was him, you wouldn't know.
Okay, get down here. You're right in between you guys.
Oh,
Get the mic right there. That one you guys can talk into. What might be exciting that you guys remember from Roger Sunoco?
Well, for me personally, I can remember the first day I was going down there. Was a friend of mine I went to school with, Mike Sink. And I was just basically walking down the alley, and Mike was working on the race car. And I just was kind of leaning over the fence looking, and then I come around the fence and went in and was talking to Mike a little bit. And typical Roger, he said, if you're going to stand around here, you're going to have to go to work. And that was my first experience at Roger Sunoco, was working on a race car, and then eventually worked into actually working there with Roger, at the station, making gas money so I could keep my car going and that sort of thing. But and then kind of a little sidebar to that, when Roger was still alive, I went down to Florida, and my son was just maybe 8 or 9 or something like that. We stopped by the service station, just, we were going to Disneyland or Disney World, and then talked to him. And the first thing Roger did said, looked at my son and said, don't be standing around here, grab that oil, we got to go fill that rack out there on the island. So that's kind of the things that I remember, that sort of thing, plus the good times we had.
Yeah, everybody had a good time at Rogers.
After about a half hour in that driveway, man, I started getting real.
This is Smiley. I remember I went to school with Dave Perry, and I had to buy a new set of tires for my car. And Dave said, why don't you come down to Roger Sunoco? He says, he'll give you a good deal. So I went down to Roger Sunoco, and first thing I know, got a new set of tires. And all of a sudden he says, you want to work them tires off? He says, I'll put you to work. Well, the rest is history. I was there ever since. And enjoyed every minute of it. We had some very, very good times there.
You never went to Pickwick, though, did you?
No, never went to Pickwick very often. Or the Skyway, not very often. But when that happened, boy, look out. We done did it up. We done did it up right. Not that often, but we did it up right. And so we had a lot of good times there.
Yeah, in your working career, you worked at Harvester, didn't you?
Yes, I worked at an International Harvester, worked there for 19 years. And then I retired. I worked at Nichols Bakery for 20 years. So I'm retired officially.
Well, you owned it. You owned a tavern.
Yeah, I had to pick her. I had to pick her from 1988 to 94. And there was a couple other guys in with me, and we had a good time. And so then I sold out in 94, and I still kept my other job at Nichols Bakery yet. And so.
Any truth to the rumor I've heard about the picker? They named that the picker on account of if you went in there and you didn't get picked up, you weren't worth being picked over.
That's exactly right. If you could meet them there, you can't meet them anywhere. Yeah, that's the truth. Yeah.
Pickers no longer. They tore it down.
They tore it down. It's a vacant lot. I hear they're going to put a shopping mall in there or some kind of a strip mall. That's what I heard. So.
Klein Richard owned the Pickwick, and there was another couple before Klein Richard, brothers or something.
Yes, and I can't remember who they were. Do you?
Either, no.
I can't remember
right
who they were.
There, Stump's dad had a machine shop.
Yes, Stump had a machine. Yes, right there. That floral shop, yeah. What was it? Harry Hacklebar.
Harry lived up above.
Harry lived up above, yeah. It was some good times, so. Yeah, we had a lot of good times at Roger Sunoco. Very good.
Thank you, gentlemen. It's been interesting. Okay, we'll wander on over to the next guy. Where'd my cameraman go? He went for coffee. Well, it's interesting. Of course, I'm out of cord too. I didn't bring it. Not bad.
It's been a long time.
Yeah, it's been a while. Yeah. You're still eating breakfast. Okay. Well, what kind of moments have you got from Roger Sunoco?
Oh, I don't know. We just off the top of my head, I say was a lot of young guys kind of sort of got raised up down there.
Yeah,
it was a pretty good environment actually.
It was a learning experience.
Yeah.
Roger was a nice guy. If you needed a hand, he'd give you a hand.
He took a lot of guys under his wing, so to speak, down there.
It was an interesting deal to be around the man. What I want to say, it took in a lot of concern to people and helped them out. I don't know. Things were different back then. You can't do that today.
I know.
You don't pump gas for people anymore. Everybody pumps their own, and that's the way it is. So,
I remember one time down there, I just got that doggone 283 Chevy into my 40 coupe that I bought from Bordner, and I got it in there, and I really wasn't sure what to do after that, you know. So Roger and I was talking. He said, "Well, let's have a look at it." You know, we went out there and he hooked her all over a little bit, and he hooked a couple wires up, you know, and he says, "Well, that'll do it." He said, "Hit the key, see what happens." I hit the key, man. I mean, that thing lit right now. I mean, right now, she just lit up, and there was no exhaust manifolds on it, and it didn't run but about 3 seconds, and the heat out of the heads burned all plug wires off. But I was absolutely overjoyed that it run, you know, because I was a young dumb kid, and I didn't know what the hell I was doing, you know. Yeah, well, Mike Sink made a set of headers for me. And then after we got it running, it ran about 5 minutes, and we didn't have a, what do you call it? That little porcelain, resistor. Didn't have a resistor on it, and burnt the points out of it in about 5 minutes. But then we figured out what was going on there, put a resistor in it, and put new points in. And God dang, man, I was on the street.
Running them down, getting tickets.
Oh. I tell you that 283 was warmed up pretty good, and it did real well.
Well, there weren't too much weight in the 40 coupe.
True.
Made for 4,000. Yeah, it was interesting. I'm going to run around.
Okay, yeah, fine. Okay, it's good talking to you, Paul. It's been a long time. Take care.
Well, we're going to move around so I don't trip over this guy.
I'll be on your way here in a second.
Here.
Yeah, I just made you a fresh one.
This thing going the other direction. Okay, we're back again. We're over on the other side of the table now. Our cable's stretched out here. Nini.
Yes.
It's been a while.
Been a while, sir.
Yeah.
Good to see you.
How you doing?
I'm fine.
Haven't, I don't know, still working with around the Hartman bunch, or?
No, I own a company called Central Liquidating. We do mostly supermarket auctions around the country, restaurants, and we sell some equipment on the side, supermarket equipment. I was in the heating and cooling business for about 20 years. Refrigeration. I worked for Bob Cole for a while.
I just talked to Cole the other day. He's on our committee up there at the museum.
Yeah, it was good.
Things together.
Throw it down, put a can in it, 2 4s.
Well, call me if you ever need any help on anything.
We're always needing help. I never built a museum.
It was minuscule. You couldn't even really tell the difference.
So much time and be so slow.
Yeah, well, that takes time.
But it's coming along. It's, we gain every day.
But nobody.
Like putting a chalk mark down on the sidewalk to see how far you move in 8 hours. Not too much, but once in a while we do.
4-door. It'd be nice to have Roger's old coupe up there if we ever find it.
Yeah, I don't know. I've heard 2 or 3 rumors. I heard it was tore up, and I heard it was sent out of town. And,
I think he sold that car to somebody in Eldora. I think that's where it went. That's the last time I saw it. But I was able to drive that car at Eldora.
Yeah.
And it was a good car.
I went down to Eldora last Wednesday, got rained out. Talked to Tony, and had all kind of mud over there.
Does he show up down there?
He was there, yeah. He was driving a pickup truck out in the parking lot when I first seen him. We were standing in line to get paid, get in. But, Well, it was interesting. So.
You worked for Roger for a while, didn't you?
Yeah, I worked for Roger off and on in between jobs when I wasn't working at one of the dealerships somewhere or had my own business.
I remember you well. I remember, didn't you work for John Ramp for a while, too?
Oh, yeah.
I think I was down there one day, and they pulled in a car that caught on fire.
Yeah.
And you started getting into it to fix it. Somebody said you got to identify every part in there. You just went off and said you threw it down, you identified it. Went in and left it.
Yeah. Yeah, there was some days it was exciting. Some days you wonder why you was even in the business. Yeah, my cousin and I worked for John Ramp for a couple of years. I worked for, I think, every dealer in town at one time or the other.
But I can remember the first time that I went to work for Roger.
Yeah.
I was 12 years old. And he had already threw me out of there 3 times.
Yeah.
Every time I come over. Finally, it was on a Saturday, and he needed somebody to help push cars. I got in. And I think I was about 13 or 14. Do you remember when he had the old 280 Ford?
Yeah.
And Frank Myers and Frank Thomas drove it.
Yeah.
Told me to go out there and get the thing running. They were going to go to their first race of the season.
Yeah.
I went out there and put a battery charger on a dry battery. And blew the battery up. And I went into Roger. So what do I do now? He said, well, go out and get a battery. So I went out in the parking lot. Some customer's car, took the battery out of it.
Oh, boy.
We put it in the race car, took it out and raced it. That night, when we come back, I took the thing out, put it back in the customer's car, and the guy never knew it.
Strange things like that happen.
Oh, that was just a fun place to be around, that gas station.
Well, I'm going to get over here and talk to Dave and
Good to
work
see you,
my
Paul.
way around there. Nice talking to you. Sure. My wife probably was wondering about you know Judy.
Yeah, very well.
She asked about you every now and then.
About 25 years now?
About that, yeah. Getting close. It's been so long that I think I was born that way. I'll talk to you a little bit. Okay. Get my cameraman back in business there and we'll get on.
You guys skated. You drove come out okay?
Got her on, so. You was around Roger Sunoco as long as Roger was, weren't you?
No, I started there in 1956. I started hanging out, like I heard Dave Reed say, you know, he put him to work. I was hanging out. And I started cleaning the restrooms and stocking oil shelves and, you know, stocking all the merchandise back up. I put so many out every day and then restock it. But, a lot of great times.
A lot of fun times in there. You know, there's one memory, we were just sitting here talking, I was talking to Lee there. It was in the winter time. You know, we used to shovel that driveway by hand.
Yeah.
Of course, you know, automatic snow plows weren't around. We're doing it by hand. And there was a bus stop right in front of Roger Sunoco.
Yeah,
Remember that?
It was,
And that lady had about a, I don't know, early Ford, not early, but 50s of some kind. And she slid across Pontiac Street and hit the curb and broke the wheel off, one of her front wheels. And we watched it happen, and she got out of the car and came in. We thought she was going to call a wrecker, and she asked one of us if we could go put her spare tire on. Was you there then?
No, I don't remember that one.
Yeah, she broke the spindle right off of it, and she just got out of the car casually. She's running, looking the wrong way on Pontiac Street in that bus stop. She's come in, could one of you guys put my spare tire on? I can drive this home. We had a heck of a time explaining to her, you know, we could get the spare tire out, but you couldn't put that on there, nothing to mold it to. She broke it off. But that was one of the fun times, but just shoveling that whole driveway. Yeah, that was something else.
That was a big job.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, we had a lot of great times. I remember one time, I think it was Bill Heath and I was working Saturday night, some lady come in a, I don't know, 51, 52 Chevy, and Bill had this old Mercury, 49 or 50. So this lady's car wouldn't start. So I decided, well, I'll just give her a push to get going. So I got in, Bill, it didn't have the right plates on, and we just stuck plates on that were down at the station, and I pushed her and got her going. I went to turn the corner and come around, and the cops stopped me. And they towed the car, and I had to walk back to the station.
Well, things like that happen.
Yeah, but
There were so many people that came and went there at the station. You can't. You sit there and try to remember, like Dan, and he had a degrading name, but his name was Dan.
Dan Carrier.
Huh?
Dan Carrier.
Dan Carrier. And Johnny Klotz used to come in there. Remember, he had that blue Oldsmobile convertible.
Oh yes.
And he was always running 40 mile an hour or more instantly. When he'd take off out of the driveway, there was 2 black marks all the way to the street, and it was just things like that that you never forget.
Yeah. I see one time he came in that convertible.
Yeah.
It was late at night, and we're going east on Pontiac, and made that little swing in by Smitty's Barber Shop and onto the drive. I don't know how fast they were going, but the car hit that little ramp and come down, and sparks were flying, and hit the brakes and stopped right in front of the station. I thought they were going to go into the Skyway.
Well, that's the way Roger Sunoco was with a lot of cars, but John drove that car like that all the time.
I know he did.
And he never got a ticket. Never got a ticket.
But yeah, it was just Roger. You know, it's like a second dad to a lot of people down there.
Yeah, he was.
Come down and give you a job, and you could hang out. There was one day drugs or anything like that. Nobody was in jail or anything. So I think it was a good thing for a lot of people.
Yeah. His kids were all young, but not one of his kids worked at the station. I don't know how it was later on in Florida, but I don't think they ever worked down there either.
No, I don't know. Maybe Nick might have a little bit, but not when I was working there.
Yeah.
But,
I'm going to go over here and get Mr. Walters cornered, and I think I about made it around this table. Randy got out of here before I could talk to him, but his phone rang, so he took off.
That's all he wanted. So he got business to take care of.
Yeah. Where's he? He works for some parts store, don't he?
Works for Ace Radiator.
Oh, Ace Radiator. They're out.
They're on Coliseum, I believe.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
Out in there, yeah. Somewhere in that area.
Yeah.
I just knew I was.
All righty. Well, I'll get out of this chair and go sit in another one. Okay. Yeah. Here, you get a talk into this.
Got a wide angle lens.
Hang on to it, yeah. Well, I can't do that. My sisters would kill me. It's the center mic. You gotta, talk to it in that way. It's on. It's live all the time.
Okay.
You started hanging around the station. Hello, Vert Smith and you and.
I went to work for Roger Sunoco the second week it was open.
Yeah.
I was the first part-time help he hired. Horse boy.
And your dad was a truck driver, wasn't he?
Pardon?
Your dad was a truck driver, wasn't he?
Yeah.
He used to come in there.
Occasionally. And then he ended up with 2 Sunoco stations too.
Yeah. Oh, your dad did?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
The one out there in Quimby Village, Clyde.
Yeah.
He got that one, and the one that was out in Waynedale, he had both of them.
Okay.
Dave Fruitmiller, I guess, went to work for him.
Okay, the Reidenauer twins ended up with that one, didn't they, out in Waynedale?
I don't know who did. I don't really know, because I know they came in and they told my dad that he can only have one. He threw the keys at both of them.
Yeah.
He said, I can't make it off of one. I gotta have 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. That was when I was in the service.
Okay. Yeah. I had that marathon station there at Hannah and Rudisell, and that was enough for me. And I
You
had
had a marathon?
Yeah, right there in Hannah and Rudisell in '57.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, that was.
Oh, that's when I went to service, 57 to 60.
Yeah. I had that 57 to 58, and Mickey Potter, when he worked for Midas, Mickey was thinking of going into business for himself, and he conjured up that deal. And I had worked at Rice Ozenville, or was working at Rice Ozenville. He was trying to tell me how great it could be being business for yourself and everything. So that station came up, and he was looking into it, and then he never made the big step. So I did, and I ended up leasing the whole corner there. There were 2 houses and the filling station, and everybody was glad to have me work on their car, but I had my brother Dick working for me, and I had a Mo Brewer working for me, and another guy, and I don't know, a couple of the car dealers come in to pick up their cars and find them other guys working on them. They, oh no, we want you to work on our car, not them guys. So it got to be too many hours. I got where I wouldn't come to work. Mo had opened the place up at 7, and I'd come in at 9 and work till 11 at night, 6 days a week, and that's too many hours.
I see on your shirt you got Paul's Place. Where was that?
Paul's Place is on Wednesday nights at 9 o'clock on Comcast on Channel 57.
Oh, yeah.
It was on last night, and it's basically about racing, but it gets into things like this also. So this will be on, I don't know what night. By the time I edit the thing and go through it, I don't know what kind of time I'll have, but
I got the dish. They can't get 57.
I can't get it either, but have it in there. But if any of these guys are wanted, they probably got better pictures down on the post office wall than we're going to get today in here. But I got a good cameraman back here, so he gets everything going. I want to get a picture of these things for Rocky and get over there and talk to Rocky and see what he's got going. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we'll just cut her off.
I just want to say hi, man. You know, up close.
I got my mic on. It's a center mic.
Yes, it has.
Talk in the center of it. It's already lit.
Okay. What are we doing here?
Back in like the middle 80s.
Are we live?
Yeah, I think we are.
3, 2, 1.
I was dating some gal that worked there, and I was in there.
Well, I think we had a good turnout.
Yeah,
I'm pleased with what showed up, and it sounds like we'll do it again probably next year. And I believe we're going to use Roger's birthday, which is April 8th.
Well, listen, I can't.
And
I got a doctor
we'll.
appointment in 20 minutes. I got to get across town. Same here. You guys take it easy.
Okay.
Good to see you.
Thanks, Koopy, for coming. Appreciate it. I'll get a hold of you.
I'm going to get a hold of you
Okay.
tonight.
Okay. Do
I'm
that.
tired of running around with that
Here, move over.
primer front end.
Okay. All right.
Say what?
Okay. We'll see you. Thanks for coming.
Take care, buddy.
Okay,
so go ahead, sir.
I think everything turned out real nice
well.
for the first time.
Right.
And like I say, it's a step in the right direction.
Right.
You got to take a small
Right.
step before you take a big step.
Just kind of threw it out there to see what kind of response we would get. And we can expand from this. You know, we can we can always use Roger Sunoco as a theme for a get-together, but we can go into a full-blown racing reunion in Fort Wayne. You know,
we can also use any of the facilities at the museum.
right? Yeah. So there, there's a lot of possibilities. The only thing about doing it at a place like this is, charge for the room, which we appreciate. They donated that to Legion, and they've got good food and economical prices.
Yeah.
So it works out nice. But yeah, we can incorporate the museum by having a deal and everybody going up there, and find a place up there also to eat, But yeah, I'm real pleased with the turnout, and looking forward to putting it together for next year. And as we talked, the Ford Foundation is going to build a building up at the Cruzy World War II grounds with an early Ford museum, and that's going to be a perfect place to buy a brick with Roger's name on it. He'll be enshrined in that museum forever.
Yeah.
I can see that. I can visualize the brick, Roger Reinhold or Roger Sunoco, Flatheads forever. With the date of his birth and the date of his death, and it'd be a nice way to honor him.
Yeah, I think so. Roger was a good guy, and
Yeah.
everybody here said the same thing over and over and over about him.
Right.
He was a father figure to so
Right.
many guys, and heck of it was a clean act. He had a good work ethic.
Right.
Right. One thing that centered around Roger, when you was around Roger, you worked.
Right.
And you
Right.
did it right.
Right.
It wasn't a case where you sloughed off and played around or stuff like that. That wasn't his way of life.
No, but everybody there had fun.
Yeah.
We all had fun. And you can tell by the turnout here, I didn't say when I sent flyers out that this was just a get-together or a racing reunion or just old-time friends. It was Roger Sunoco get-together. And if the guys really didn't care about him, some of these guys are working 12-hour shifts and 7 days a week, pulled herself out of bed after a couple hours sleep and showed up, Several others are out of town. I think we would have had, at least 10 more maybe.
Yeah, one of them, Frank Myers, is in the hospital. With
Frank's in the
pneumonia.
hospital. John Stump is in Louisiana building a home for Habitat for Humanity.
Yeah.
A couple other guys that got businesses just could not get away.
Yeah.
So, I think the next one, if we invite them a lot sooner, earlier, so they can make plans, that's going to help. Herb Kretler, his sister-in-law died. The funeral's today, so he can't make it. So there's a lot of, you got to work in and around all that stuff. So, but all in all, we had a good turnout.
Yeah. Let me get up there, and you can get your picture up here, and we'll get pictures of that.
Okay.
Up in there. Okay. Everybody's clearing out. Everybody is in the back there talking to think, well, this is about the end of it. So we got some pictures here we want to bring up and explore. I think I can zoom in on this thing and well, we'll try.
We're going to get it. This is my first time.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you work on that?
Yeah, I can zero in on that one.
Are we live?
Yeah, we're live.
Okay, this is a sprint car of mine that I had painted up with Roger Sunoco colors. A couple of years ago when we knew Roger was failing his health pretty bad and knew he would enjoy seeing a race car all painted up with the number 1 on it and Roger Sunoco. And all the fellows listed in that picture, I'm not going to be able to name them for you right now because there's too many and time's too short. But all these fellows grew up at the gas station and they all signed their name and signed cards. And we took up a collection to help Roger a little bit and sent it down to him. And he really got a big kick out of this. And this was about 3 months before he passed away. So he really enjoyed it and we got a lot of pleasure out of doing it. This is a back of a T-shirt that Roger's son Nicky put together. It's in loving memory of Roger Sunoco, the racingest station in the nation. Roger Reinhold, will miss you forever. Hammer and Henry, which is what they called about the Flathead Ford. So it's a thing that we got printed together and passed out to everybody today, along with some other information and pictures. So we've tried to do things, try to keep his memory alive, and like I said, we're going to buy a brick in his name and put it in the Ford Museum up at Auburn when that's built, and try to kind of enshrine him forever, just because of the love we have for him and good person he was. on and off the racetrack and in business and out of business. I said it earlier, and I don't think there's anybody that didn't like Roger, and there certainly wasn't anybody that Roger would help. He'd give you the shirt off his back. So that's why we're here.
Okay, thank you, Rocky. We'll pull you off.
Thank you, and appreciate Paul's Place in Channel 57 coming down to tape this.
Okay. Okay, I'm standing here on the corner of Pontiac and John. I have my camera focused on where Roger Sunoco used to be. They've tore the building down. The driveway's in here, the cement is in here, about where that big tree is where the gas pumps used to be. Then the parking lot was over here to the side. And then where my truck is now sitting is one of the main parts of the parking lot. And just straight down John Street to Creighton, and when you circle your way around here, this building over here, right in here, is where Smitty's Barber Shop used to be. And Smitty, Curly, and also Don Gerber used to have a shop in there. And on around Pontiac Street as you're looking to the west. And then I don't know what was on that corner, but over on this corner here, what is vacant now, this is where the Pickwick used to stand. The Pickwick is now gone also. It was a hangout for everybody at Roger Sunoco. This building standing here is where the flower shop used to be, and I think there was a machine shop in the back of that. I think over where the big white door is, I think Stump could probably tell us more about what was in that building. And then, as like say, you look onto the east, and then the brick building that you see down there, that was this Skyway, Roy's place. And then on the other side of the Skyway was Lazoff's shoe shop. But those have all since vanished also. So this is where Roger Sunoco used to be. It used to be the hangout for quite a few people. And it is now just a vacant lot, just a memory. All the memories that was conjured up here, all spoke about them this morning at the breakfast and the first annual get-together for Roger Sunoco meeting. They've been other Roger Sunoco get-togethers, but they've been over at Frank Myers' house. And this is where the station stood. It's, I don't know, just a memory now.
10 more laps to go. I was running way ahead of all the other cars. I was doing fine and everything was good so far. Track was getting hotter with the melting of the tar. 10 more laps to go. 10 more laps.